So Christian Moix will tell us a little bit about Lafleur Petrus as well, since you're tasting that as well.
Okay, Lafleur Petrus, it's a long story because it's the first vineyard my father purchased in 1950. At the time it was a rather small vineyard. On the other side from Petrus on the road, it's very surprising to see that road. Petrus is on the right-hand side with a bump of clay, very unique soil as you know, and on the left-hand side it's pure gravel. Sometimes American people, remember, told me many times, but Christian, you brought that gravel so that you can show the difference on both sides of the road. Not at all. That would be the reverse. The road, probably centuries ago, what was put there because there was a soil difference between right and left. So it's very funny. Very pure gravel, to a point that was maybe almost excessive, you see. There's so much gravel. It's almost like the Côte du Rhône, you know, those big pebbles. About 2 inches big, some of them. So for many years, Lafleur Petrus was producing a very delicate wine, but slightly thin, I would say. And the purpose for me in the past 50 years, since I began my first vintage for myself at Lafleur Petrus was 1970. That's when I began returning from UC Davis. I thought that I needed to have a few other blocks so that to anchor Lafleur Petrus, if I can describe it like that. And I was looking only on the plateau de Pomerol for a few blocks, which I found one block in 95, which came from Lafleur. I found one block in 2005, which came from Providence, next to Osana. And the latest block I found in 09 was called from a small chateau, kind of unknown, Guillot. All of them on the plateau of Pomerol. So I dare to say that I increased the size of Lafleur Petrus seriously from 6 or 7 hectares to 18 today, increasing the quality. That's the most difficult thing as a producer, is to increase quantity and quality at the same time. Usually it goes the other way around. But that's what I think we have achieved. And recent vintages of Lafleur Petrus, beginning in 2010 probably, you will see you have that elegance, which is so typical of the pure gravelly soil, but in the meantime, you have a verticality, which I think ranks Lafleur Petrus among the really top wines of Pomerol today. So, beautiful vineyard, that very specific label with a beautiful red flag, which we have never known precisely the origin. We think it has some link with Denmark, why not? It has become a very popular wine, because I would not say it cannot replace Petrus, which is unique by its character, its strength, but Lafleur Petrus has elegance and power, especially in recent vintages. If you taste the 18, 19, 20, you are going to taste the 20 in a minute. It's amazing, the quality of recent vintages of Lafleur Petrus. And of course, we very much focus on that. We think it's still a good value. It's you find it on the shelf, I think, around $300. And at that price, from the plateau of Pomerol, everything is from the plateau. I think it's hard to compete. Another specific point, very recent for Lafleur Petrus, is the fact that in Pomerol, you know, Pomerol is 90% Merlot, about 10% Cabernet, mostly Franc, a little bit of Cabernet Sauvignon. We have no Cabernet Sauvignon, we have a tiny amount of Cabernet Franc, but I introduced for the first time in Pomerol in recent years, I had a block which is on Lafleur Petrus, on the gravelly part, of Petit Verdot, PV as we call it, because I realized that with that very hot climate we are getting today, from my experience in the US at Dominus, where the Petit Verdot is thriving, we planted, it's only half an hectare of Petit Verdot, which gives very good result. It brings a spiciness, which is a slightly different touch, a little bit of complexity. You know, Petit Verdot, I compare it to, you add pepper on your beautiful steak. It does not really change the taste, but it enhances the taste. That's what you will notice probably in Lafleur Petrus in recent vintages.
Fantastic.